people are hitting my channel for the Synology fail. Now, if you've got a Synology and it's failed, I told you so is probably one of the first things I would say, but what you'll probably want to do is to get your data from it. Now, the way to do this, if you haven't got a hard drive failure, is to take your drive out, download UBUNTU, which you'll find a link below. What you need to do is get a system, a computer of some size, shape or description, install Ubuntu onto it, and then insert your drives into it, and you should be able to recover. There is a link to the information on how to do this from the Synology website, so follow the instructions there. You basically, what you're doing is making the same type of software, putting it together so you can recover your data. Now, if you're smart and you've got this before your Synology fails, don't forget this is the issue with Synology. Synology build their own little motherboards, which are in cases which are sometimes not best called. Now, I've had a problem because I've got a Synology and it's unreliable, so I don't go down that route. NAS servers are a minefield of problems. They're not the way to back up, they're not the way to use live data. You should really keep away from things like that, in my opinion, although technically they would be good as an archive server. That's a server that's separate to your backup server, which you don't have connected constantly or on constantly, because this is the problem with the Synology that I found, is that they overheat and it causes a load of problems to the motherboards inside them. So what you need to do is to think about building a proper backup system. This isn't particularly difficult. It's the same as building a normal computer system, Lego if you would. I can go through how to build these. I build them all the time. I am a network consultant and I wrote part of the book on backup infrastructures. So your backup infrastructure needs to be a SAN, not a NAS, and basically all you do is you have a server, a workstation, computer, whatever you want to call it. It's just basically any type of computer with probably 8 gigs of RAM and plenty of SATA ports on there, or adding cards that you can use, and a storage case that will hold enough hard drives for you. Now, you want to buy the older type cases, the ones with the drive bays on the front, because this gives you hot swap. Now, hot swap is where you can take out your drive and swap it over. So what you do is, there's a 3-2-1 policy which was wrote ages ago. So what you want to do is you want, say, 2 terabyte hard drive backup. So if you've got 5 of those, then you'll need a 10 terabyte backup drive, which is hot swappable, or in some sort of combination that you can use, because you can also buy drives and put them in an array to give you that size of your fixed drive. Now, what we do is this. You put together your hard drives, and you have, let's say, 8 terabytes. We'll say 8 terabytes across 2 drives. So you've got 2 4 terabyte drives, they're backing up. Now, what you need is an 8 terabyte drive, whichever way you want to do that, in 1 or 2, and it copies that data over. You want this so you can remove it, but you want to buy another 4 disks so that you can back up to them. So what you do is you're swapping over your drives, hot swapping them over, so you got a backup from your backup, if that makes perfect sense. Now, if you're not going down that route, you could go and get a Synology or a small ITX system case, which will hold enough drives there so you can actually put your data on it. And what you want to do is just plug that into the network, and then you'll just back up from the backup server periodically, probably once a week or something like that, and once a month. You never ever have short-term backup archives, because if you get a virus and it's backed up onto the Synology or whatever you're backing up to, and you're replicating that, not a lot of people go into their backups to check whether they have integrity or not, and most of the software only file size checks, and sometimes, and I have found this to be a problem, that the file that's backed up is actually corrupt and it has exactly the same fingerprint, so the software doesn't pick up that it is actually a backup problem. I'm not going to go into huge detail on building a server or a backup or a FreeNAS or an Unraid system or a Nextcloud or all the different types of server arrays that you can use. However, the quickest and easiest solution is to build a quick tower unit with a Nextcloud in there, as it's very easy to install and is very simple to do. I will put a link in the comments below of how to quickly install a backup and get it up and running on your own network. So this allows you then to quickly get your data, shove it on something else, which is a good stopgap for those who have problems with marketed, not best practice solutions that they've been using. So if you want to subscribe, there'll be data backup server stuff and SANs and everything else on this channel coming up over the next couple of weeks and months. So do subscribe if you want to know how to best do your network system.